Thank you, Senator Bam, and I laud your zeal in pursuing and returning, making sure that all the money involved is returned to the government of Bangladesh. Senator Osmena?
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman. PAGCOR, who will speak for PAGCOR? Mr. Manalastas. Mr. Manalastas, does PAGCOR only accept pesos for conversion into chips, or do you also accept other denominations?
Our casinos, PAGCOR-operated casinos, deal with both peso and dollar.
So you have dollar chips.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
therefore, what would be the reason why so much of this was exchanged into pesos? Eh kung kaya naman ng dollars, eh di wala ka nang gulugi sa transaction cost ng foreign exchange, di ba?
I can only provide a guess as to why the junket operators would convert it. I would assume that it has something to do with the exchange rate. Your
No,
Honor.
that's not an answer. What are you talking about?
No, I mean, as far as the casino which we operate, we accept both dollar and peso.
Okay, I'll ask this question of Mr. Kim Wong. Mr. Kim Wong,
Yes, sir.
bakit pa kailangan i-exchange ang dollars for pesos?
Kasi po, operation po lang PAGCOR, yung sarili po nila, meron po sila peso tsaka US dollars.
Oh.
Sa amin po, casino, sa Suler, sa lahat ng casino, wala po US dollars po.
Walang US dollars.
Wala po, wala po. Sila lang po meron owned by, run by PAGCOR. Sila lang po may peso tsaka US dollars po.
So,
Opo.
lahat ito mga privately owned casinos or casinos not operated by PAGCOR are required to only use pesos as the...
Hindi, pesos and Hong Kong dollars.
Hong Kong dollars.
Opo, we have two kind of chips. One is peso, one is Hong Kong.
Bakit walang US dollars?
Sila lang po mayroong US eh. Tanong nyo po sa kanila po.
Would you like to explain that, Mr. Manalastas?
Can you repeat the question, Your Honor?
The question is, why does PAGCOR have two rules and a sub-rule? Why only PAGCOR casinos will be able to exchange cash for dollar-denominated chips, but the other casinos not owned by PAGCOR or operated by PAGCOR can only use pesos and Hong Kong dollars?
It depends on the requester. Like, for example, Soler.
No, I have a very
they have
specific
dollar
question.
chips.
So Soler has dollar chips.
Alam ko wala po. US dollars? No.
Is there,
Your Honor,
where is Soler represent? Yes.
Your Honor, in Soler, we only have Hong Kong dollar tables and peso tables, so no US dollars,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
Would you like to explain why?
That's the preference of the players, Your Honor.
The preference of the players is to gamble in Hong Kong dollars rather than in US dollars.
That's
And you
correct,
don't
Your
know
Honor.
why.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr.
Hindi
Kim,
po, sir. Yun po yung request po mga junket po. Like, meron ko kami junket rooms, we request na gusto namin po peso tsaka Hong Kong dollar lang po.
Okay.
Kunyari, let's say 10 tables po.
bakit kaya ganon?
Kasi pala wala na akong palitan.
Ayun na nga eh, may cost ang palitan, di ba? So, ba't hindi kayo pumasok ito dito, US dollars, di ba? 81
Opo,
million
opo.
US dollars was what was remitted through RCBC and Philrem, di ba?
Mhm. Pero ito kasi po, yung, kung ano yung gusto lang po eh, parang two choice po. One is Hong Kong, one is peso po.
Ba't magugustuhan ng player ang pesos kung taga-China sila?
Hindi ko po alam yun po. Palagi po.
So walang choice ang customer. Pag pumasok, pumasok o dumating sa Soler at he wants to gamble in dollars, he's not allowed to do so.
Opo, wala po US dollars. So, Hong Kong dollars meron po.
All right. Miss Abad, the freeze order that was obtained by the Anti-Money Laundering Council from the Court of Appeals, ano hong accounts ang kinover niyan? Which accounts of Philrem lang?
You know, we have two freeze orders obtained from the Court of Appeals. First was obtained on March 1, and this covers the accounts of the four account holders, and then the account of Eastern Hawaii Leisure, and then also the account of Mr. Kim Wong.
Where is the account of Mr. Kim Wong? Akala ko yung account niya, Eastern Hawaii.
No, Mr. Kim Wong has separate accounts in his name, Your Honor.
At pina-freeze mo lahat yun?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. These are
Magkano
also
naiwan doon sa mga accounts na
May
i-freeze?
5 million. Ang finish siya po sa akin, marami account eh. Even my not connected eh. I think one company, 8 to 10?
Okay.
Hindi naman ako makapag-negosyo nga eh.
That's not my question.
Opo, opo.
What were the total amounts in those
Lahat po, 138 million.
138
Million
million?
pesos po.
All right. What else were frozen? Miss Abad?
And then on March, the second freeze order, Your Honor, covers the account of Bloomberry, Your Honor.
So you never froze any Philrem account? Bakit nag-complain si Mrs. Bautista na close ninyo yung account?
The accounts-
It was RCBC that voluntarily closed their account.
The accounts of Philrem were frozen as related accounts, Your Honor.
Pinapaklaro ko sa iyo which accounts were frozen that belong to Philrem because ang minention po ninyo yung 4 na accounts but those don't belong to Philrem.
Two accounts of Philrem with RCBC were frozen, Your Honor.
Can you name the branches?
This is with RCBC Green Hills, Your Honor.
Okay, dalawang accounts, both were with the Green Hills branch of
Branch, Your
RCBC.
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
And how much was in the account?
The first account has around 6,858 pesos, Your Honor, and the second, sorry, Your Honor, the first account has just 54.95 pesos, and the second account has
54 pesos.
Yes, Your Honor. And the second account has around 29,000 pesos, Your Honor.
So you didn't freeze anything really.
Practically nothing, Your Honor.
Mabilis sila. Faster than lightning. No, because definitely in their business, they probably keep a couple of 100 million pesos in their bank accounts, no? Even more. Mr. Bautista, would you like to respond to that?
Sir, actually we weren't part of the freeze order. Our accounts were actually first closed by the bank. And then when they received the freeze order, they froze the closed account. That was the complaint she mentioned in the first hearing.
I'm saying that when they froze the account, when the AMLAC got the order to freeze your accounts, you only had 29,000 pesos and change left in those accounts. So those aren't your real working accounts.
Sir, AMLA did not issue a freeze order on our accounts. RCBC froze our accounts
RCBC first.
after closing the account.
If you
They
close
closed
the
it
account,
first.
You close it first and then you freeze it.
They closed it first and then they froze it after.
What's the difference? If they close an account, they're supposed to refund
Yes.
whatever balance you have in
So
the account,
the
diba?
first letter we got in the morning, sir, stated...
How much was in the account when they closed the account?
Actually, sir, that's another problem we have with...
Never mind, how much
We
was
have-
in the account?
Because, sir, that was a working account, so deposits would come in throughout the day. We actually don't know how much was closed and
Would
frozen.
you like to give the committee a low and a high estimate? All right, do you mind if I ask RCBC how much was in the account, RCBC?
Your Honor, if they give me a written waiver of their accounts, I'll discuss everything.
You can
all the
write on a
questions.
napkin. You write on a
No,
napkin.
I actually
I'll
have the
give them
form, Your Honor. I can
Okay.
give it to them.
All right.
No, actually, I really don't know because it's...
Are you willing
out.
to?
No, Your Honor, I'm
You're
so
not
sorry.
willing? All
No,
right.
to open my account. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
We've submitted the documents and the information to AMLC, Your Honor. I believe they gave an earlier number of 21 million and a second number of 29,000.
I'm wondering because I haven't heard the 21 million today.
She said, Attorney Abad said that the first number. That was the first
21
number.
million?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I already corrected my answer. At first, I said that we were able to freeze to around 21 million as far as Philrem's accounts are concerned. However, I corrected that it turned out that it's only 29,000, Your Honor.
How could you make a mistake?
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I'm just basing on the notes that I have. I don't have all the figures on my fingertips, so I was referring to my notes, and I was just given the correct note, Your
All
Honor.
right. Ms. Abad, how many anti-money laundering cases have you filed in the last 3 years?
Are you referring to criminal cases, Your Honor? Because we have filed civil cases and criminal cases.
How many civil cases, how many criminal cases?
For civil cases, we have filed around 100 cases, Your Honor.
And for criminal?
It's a criminal. With the DOJ. With the DOJ. Your Honor, as to criminal cases, we have filed around 10 criminal cases before the Department of Justice, and these are still pending resolution by the DOJ.
So these are what, fairly recent?
It's for the past 3 years.
How long does it take the DOJ to investigate, make a determination whether there's a basis, and recommend the filing?
The truth, Your Honor, is there are cases that we have filed with the DOJ which have been pending for more than 5 years, Your Honor. And if some are even pending for 8 or to 10 years, Your Honor.
All right. Let me ask Ms. Guito. Ms. Guito, how long have you known the officers of Philrem, or how long have you been dealing with Philrem? How many years?
Your Honor, I met them when I was still a teller in the bank. That was 15, 16 years ago. But have started dealing with them, I think, for the last 10 years.
Okay. Is Philrem the only remittance company you use?
Sir, there are some others.
All right. How many percent of your total transactions would go to Philrem?
Sir, that depends on the instructions of the client.
I see. So it's the client that determines.
Yes. It's actually the client is instructing to transact with Philrem.
All right. Now, so in this particular case, you're supposed to have 5 clients, diba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So those clients were the ones who instructed you to deal with Philrem, all 5.
I was actually asked by Mr. Wong to source Philrem, to source,
To use,
I just recommended Philrem to them.
to use Philrem exclusively.
Apo, because he knows Concon, just that.
All right. Now, but Mr. Kim Wong is not the owner of the account. You had these 5 who own the account. So how could you have taken instructions or received instructions or accepted instructions from Mr. Kim Wong when he did not own the account?
Sir, I've already discussed in the executive session, it was him who I really talked to.
Oo nga, pero legally, hindi siya ho ang may-ari na account. Sinabi ni Mr. Kim Wong that, okay, he may have asked you to open accounts, but in the name of, sino yun? Si Gao at si Ding, di ba? Dalawa lang yun.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, so you opened 5. So it's pretty obvious that Mr. Kim Wong did not own the accounts, yet you were receiving instructions from him on how to dispose of the monies that go through those accounts. Para siya ang may-ari nun.
Hindi, not naman po like that, Your Honor. It's just that from the start po, kasi it was him who referred to me those people. So, it's him.
So if I refer somebody to you to open an account, you'll be taking orders from me on how to deal with the monies in that account. Ganun ba yun?
I understand, Your Honor, that that is not the usual, but it is commonly given for some valued.
What? Could you repeat that statement? I didn't quite understand.
Sir, I understand what you're saying. It is not common. It is not common. I acknowledge that. But nonetheless, for some valued
did?
friends, yeah.
I'll be your
I
friend.
did it for him.
If you're still in banking, I'll be your friend later. All right, now, there was an amount, remember that night when the 20 million pesos in cash, the controversial 20 million pesos was loaded, in whose car was it loaded? In your car?
Your Honor, I answered that already this morning. I did not bring any money to Soler.
Okay. But anyway, there was another amount that was testified to in earlier hearings that there was also 200 million that was supposed to be.
I do not know about the
Don't know
200
that.
million.
Okay. Now, normally, in the course of business, Mr. Guito, how much dollars, cash, would you keep in your branch? Just for everyday purposes, buying and selling. How much?
Cash in vault, sir, is just $10,000.
$10,000. And in this case, there was $81 million. And out of the 81, per records or per the testimonies, at least $17 million was cashed. Di ba?
Sir, Your Honor, there were no actual cash withdrawals.
Okay.
These were actually fund transfers in the form of deposit and withdrawal slips.
Now, so if Philrem, and I'll address this question to Philrem, how long would it take you to accumulate $18 million in cash? Can you do it in one day?
No, Your Honor.
How many days would it take you to encash an $18 million?
1 week?
1 week. So therefore, there's not that much cash running around, US dollars running around. Cash.
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the transaction. Are you saying
No,
for the
cash,
daily,
you know,
for the day?
I gave you or I had my bank remit to you $18 million in cash, and I'd say, Mrs. Bautista, give it to me. $18 million by telegraphic transfer, and I requested you, Mrs. Bautista, bigyan mo akong dollars, cash. How long would it take you to accumulate $18 million?
Maybe 2 days?
2 days, okay. How long would it take you to sell $66 million and convert it into pesos? Using normal transactions.
If it were just a conversion, sir, and we would do it with the treasury of the bank, it would probably take one transaction.
1 day.
Yes.
Basta telegraphic transfer
Basta
lang.
ho fund transfer and clear funds yung aming balance sa account.
Okay. Who is Philippine Golden Realty Corporation? This was a name that you gave to the committee.
Your Honor, I'm so sorry, but we did not give any names
see.
as part
Okay.
of our accounts.
I stand corrected, but you do not know who the principals are of Golden Realty Corporation. Don't you know?
No, I do know, Your Honor, but I don't want to say the owner, Your Honor.
All right. Now, let me ask a question both of Mr. Guito and Mr. Lorenzo Tan. When an amount like $81 million is transmitted to your bank, don't you normally receive forward instructions from the remitter or from the beneficiary that they wanted this exchange for pesos? How long will it take you to accumulate the pesos involved? In this case, about 3.7 billion, for example.
I wouldn't know the answer. May I pass on to Raul Tan, sir?
Mr. Tan, please.
We can do it in a day, Your Honor.
You can do it in a day.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. 1 day. If it were $850 million,
it's going to be almost impossible, Your Honor, at that point.
it will be impossible, you mean?
I mean, it's really going to be difficult to do that.
Why? It wouldn't take 10 days. It's only 10 times more. So if you can do $81 million in 1 day,
We will probably not do that, Your Honor.
you would reject it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why would you reject it?
Because it is abnormally huge, Your Honor.
So, if $850 million had arrived the next day, the senior executives of the bank would have been alerted right away,
Most likely, Your Honor.
and you would have rejected it.
Well, we would have probably asked the remitter to verify what this is all about.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to ask in the past 3 hearings. At what point do your alarm bells start ringing in your bank? $81 million, walang kakwenta-kwenta yan. Even if the amount was going to 4, and we can admit now, fictitious accounts. Now, which were not active in the first place, and there was no underlying obligation, services, or trade contract subject of the money. But you say that at $850 million, you would have rejected. You would have at least called the remitter, in this case Bangladesh Bank, and asked them to verify if this amount were really coming from them and to what purpose, diba? Ganun talaga yan.
Most likely, Your Honor.
All right. And so we're looking for an amount now between 850 or 950 actually, all in all, and $81 million. What would have been your warning? At what point would your managers have told you, boss, you got to take a look at this? Masyadong malaki.
Well, I'm really sorry, Your Honor, no, but at the point of entry is actually not in my area, no. That would have been in a different area of the bank.
So you're saying that you wouldn't know.
If I may answer, Your Honor.
Are you an
Sorry, sir.
an operations officer of the
No,
bank?
actually, but sir, I was going to say our operations head is here. He can give you the exact answer.
Okay, who's your operations head?
Dennis Bangkod, Your Honor.
Mr. Bangkod.
Yes, he's our operations head. I was going to ask if he
May
could
may the
explain.
committee recognize and invite Mr. Bangkok, Mr. Chairman, and may we ask him to take his oath if he has not already taken his oath?
Please, for the record, state your name and your position at RCBC.
And request the committee secretary to
Yes.
administer the oath.
Your Honor, I'm Dennis Bangkod, and I'm the head of IT and operations in RCBC.
Okay, Comsec, please.
Mr. Bangkok, did you hear the question I propounded? Would you like to respond to it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
That 81 million, Your Honor, it would have been most likely alarmed us already, and we would have put the transaction on hold.
It would most likely have alarmed you already.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Why did it not alarm you?
Can I talk about this?
Because you did not know about it. That's what you're saying.
In this case, Your Honor, the 81 million taken collectively of the 4 transactions were put on hold, Your Honor.
The 81 million was put on hold?
Yes, sir. That's what happened in this particular case.
But the 81 million went to William Go account.
At the time, Your Honor, I believe there were some of the amounts that were already withdrawn. It was done at the end of day review, and we referred that to the branch as per procedure, and we waited for disposition. And part of that disposition process, we were asked to put all the amounts that were still available on hold, Your Honor. I stand corrected. It was not 81 million because some of the amounts have been withdrawn, Your Honor.
All that remained was 69,000. Am I correct? More or less.
Your Honor, at the end of day of February 5, it was only $22.7 million that had been withdrawn. So 81 less 22, 23, was about 58 or 59 million.
You didn't freeze 59 million. It still went to Philrem.
We put it on hold at the end of February 5, Your Honor.
So why was it given to Philrem on February 8? 9, sorry.
Hindi ko na alam yan.
Your Honor, may I backtrack so that I can just answer the first question that you asked?
Yes.
At the start of the day, when the remittances come in, there is a threshold that we've said before, and because we've opened the 4 accounts, we'll discuss it. The threshold was 1 billion pesos. If it hits an amount above that, and in this case, 2 accounts breached that threshold, there are human eyes that see it. But in this case, since the branch had several transactions already big, it was not so unusual at that point. If it were one amount, for example, $81 million that entered, human eyes would have seen it and it would have triggered an alert. Since there was no alert at the start, at the end of day, our remittance department called the retail banking group, which is where the branches are, and they asked what these amounts were because taken together, they seemed unusually large. So by that time, $22.7 million had already been withdrawn. At that point, a series of calls were made, and Maia de Guito took the call and said, "These are my long-standing clients. I have been waiting for these funds for over a year, and their KYC, their documents for account opening forms were all set, all arranged. There was a series of approvals, and the hold was lifted on the basis of that on February 5. On February 9 is a different matter, and that's when the first of the requests for freeze came. But that's a different matter, Your Honor.
Yes, but at least you voluntarily put a hold
Yes, we
order
did.
on the account on Friday.
We did, Your Honor. It
And
was
you released it on Tuesday, the following working
we
day.
released it at the end of in the evening of February 5.
In the same day.
Yes.
Okay. And so the rest of the amounts were remitted also on February 9 out of your Jupiter branch to Philrem, or to, anyway, to the William Go account.
The withdrawal started again on Tuesday morning, February 9, yes.
All right. Now, I saw this ad in the Philippine Star yesterday. Did you have anything to do with this ad?
Your Honor, we caused the publication. As part of our desire to discuss the accounts, we wanted to make sure that we conformed with the spirit of bank secrecy laws, and we wanted to make sure that there were no other claimants. There is one single claimant so far, which is the Bank of Bangladesh, and we have actually sent them a written request for a waiver, since we believe that they are the owner of the funds, and we hope to be able to get the waiver over the next few days, Your Honor.
All right. The ambassador is here, and I believe, Mr. Ambassador, would you like to respond? Is this correct? Have you received a missive, a letter from RCBC, or it was addressed to the ambassador or to the Bank of Bangladesh?
We sent it through the ambassador, Your Honor.
Right. Did you receive such a letter?
Yes, Honor, we received it.
And there was also an accompanying draft of a letter that RCBC was suggesting would be signed by the current governor or acting governor of the Bank of Bangladesh, allowing RCBC to disclose what is in the account.
Yes, Honor.
Mr. Fazal Kabir, is he the new governor?
Yes, Honor, he's the new governor.
All right. Now, in our previous hearing, Attorney Estavillo, I'm sorry, there was a debate as to whether these accounts were fake or not, and RCBC took a very strong position that they had to respect the bank secrecy law and the possibility that these were not fake accounts. What made you change your mind?
Your Honor, the accounts are real. The
No, not
account
the accounts,
holders,
the account holders.
the names were fictitious, but while we had already an internal certification that the addresses were wrong, the birth dates did not correspond to the real names, we were also hoping to get a certification from different government agencies, which we don't have at this point, stating that these people with these details do not exist. So we wanted to rule out any possible claimants, and that's why we caused the advertising of that you saw in the in the two newspapers over 2 days. We wanted to rule out all these possible claimants.
All right. Now, how many names were there? There were 5 names, actually.
There were 5
accounts,
names, Your Honor.
including Picache.
Picache, yes.
All right. Now, I'd like to know, supposing a Mr. Lagrosa turns up, same name,
Yes.
and say, that's me, what are you going to do now?
Well, we would probably submit him to the AMLC, and so they could send him so that they could hold him accountable for the money laundering case that they filed. Yes.
All right. So in this particular case, when you say the account beneficiaries do not exist, there could be somebody with that name,
Yes,
but all the supporting information that was given to support the opening of the account were false.
Yes, Your Honor.
Wrong address, wrong ID, etc., no?
Yes, Your Honor.
But there could be a possibility that a person of that name exists.
What we understand, Your Honor, is that these 4 names do exist. There are different birth dates of the real people. We looked at the IDs submitted. We've identified 2 out of the 4 IDs used. Out of the 5, the other 3 we have not identified. So we have been submitting our records, Your Honor, to the AMLC because we do want to assist.
All right, Ms. Guito, sabi po ninyo, nakilala mo itong 5 tao na ito, si Picache, Lagrosas, Vasquez, etc.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you still maintain that you did meet them and that they exist?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I won't ask you any more questions because I know you're going to use your exemption from testifying against yourself. Now, Ms. Fernandez, in your letter, in the letter that you drafted for the governor of the Central Bank of Bangladesh, you used the word diverted, which means you've already come to a judgment that these funds were illegally remitted.
Yes.
Ang nakasulat dito, this was a letter you're asking Bangladesh Bank
Yes,
to
Your
sign.
Honor.
We confirm and reiterate that the Bangladesh Bank is claiming ownership over the funds diverted to the following beneficiary accounts.
Yes.
And there's the
We put there that they are claiming. So it's really like alleged in that sense, Your Honor. It's the claim.
And you used diverted again a second time in the second paragraph as owner of the funds that had been diverted. And a third time in the last sentence, the Blue Ribbon Committee's investigation into the funds diverted from the Bangladesh Bank. So this letter is just a formality. You've already decided to accept that these are the funds that belong to the people
We have
of
reasonable
Bangladesh.
basis to believe, Your Honor, that it is the funds of the Bank of Bangladesh. The letter you read, Your Honor, is to be signed, we hope, by the governor of the Bangladesh Bank. We hope.
Anyway, you've been assured by the ambassador that that letter would be forthcoming,
Thank you.
subject to whatever amendments they would want to include into it. I also read a column. What was this? I think it appeared either in the Inquirer or the Star yesterday with a chart. Was this prepared by your bank?
I believe, sir, our external lawyers are preparing some complaints. To be honest, I haven't seen the final draft, but I commit...
It came out in the newspapers already.
I don't know why, Your Honor, but I commit to give you a copy of the complaint once filed.
Yes, but we'd like you to affirm that this is your interpretation of the funds flow.
Your Honor, may I see the chart?
Certainly. I'll give you 2 charts. The one that, two versions, because I had my staff, it was so blurry, I had my staff recreate it.
Your Honor, I'm not familiar with this specific chart. I'm very familiar with the flow. I can discuss the flow, but to refer to this chart would be difficult for me. I can discuss the flow very well, but I'm not familiar with the chart.
But you're saying that chart was prepared by your external
By our
counsel.
external lawyers. I haven't seen the final draft, and I'm very comfortable to discuss the details, Your Honor, using...
No, I'm asking you to affirm that, and if you wish, you could do that tomorrow.
Okay, Your Honor.
But we'd like you to
I'll do
affirm
that.
that.
I'll do
all
that,
right?
Your Honor.
Thank you. Now, I have some questions for Philrem. Is this chart outlining the flow of funds, was this submitted by Philrem? Because your name is not on it, but there's an accompanying report which says which reads, Philrem distribution of the $80,884,641.63 received from RCBC.
Yes, Your Honor. Is it the same?
So this is
Yes.
this is yours.
No. Ibaw.
same.
Can you check?
Same? Okay. Ang nakasulat po dito, you delivered about 38% of the 80 million, or let's just call it $81 million, all right? $81 million, 38% of that was delivered to Waikangsu, correct? 26% to Eastern Hawaii, and Bloomberry Soler also received 36%. All right, now, where is Mr. Kim Wong? We've been hearing that he picked up the funds personally, but yet his name does not appear.
The beneficiaries, Mr. Wei Kang-su.
That's what you say, but you delivered it to Mr. Kim Wong.
Mr. Wei Kang-su, Mr. Wong was just an interpreter, as he says.
Mr. Kim, meron kang kopya nito? Okay. Would you like to lend him your copy, please?
Sir, pwede po, ano po tanong nyo po dito?
Ang tinatanong ko, yung 38%, tinan mo yung third line, beneficiaries are Waikangsu, 38%, Eastern Hawaii, 26%, at Bloomberry, 36%. Yung Eastern Hawaii, ikaw may-ari niyan, di ba?
Opo.
So, inadmit mo naman, nakatanggap ka ng 1 billion.
Opo, yung kumpanya ko po, yung dito po sa Eastern Hawaii. Yung dito po sa una, yung Wikangso, ito, 28 million. Dami nito.
Alright.
Sir, yung pagkaano ko po sa inyo, di ba? 400 million pesos po, tsaka yung $5 million po, yun po lang tinanggap ko. Yung iba to, hindi ko po alam.
Meron pang 500 million telegraphic transfer Eastern Hawaii Midas. Di ba?
Opo, yung sa kumpanya po yun.
Ito, eh.
Opo, yung sa kumpanya po yun.
Okay. So,
ito po yung tinitingnan ko po yung kay Wikangsu po.
Teka muna.
Opo, opo.
Meron pang the next day, February 11, another 500 million by telegraphic transfer to Eastern Hawaii Midas also, di ba?
Opo, opo.
Okay.
Yun po, total 1B po. Opo.
1B. Ngayon, yung $500, I'm sorry, $5 million, binigay rin sa iyo yan in cash, di ba?
Kinuha ko po sa bahay, yung February 9. Opo.
$5 million was received by you in cash, di ba?
Opo.
Separate yan sa 1 billion na...
Separate po, sir.
Okay. Ngayon, para kanino yung $5 million?
Para kira Gao tsaka kay Wikangsu po.
Para kay Waikangsu ito.
Hindi po, sorry po. Kay Gao po tsaka kay Ding Sisi po, sir. Sorry po.
Gao,
napabilis na po.
Gao at Ding.
Si Gao po tsaka si Ding po.
But you were the one who received the money, di ba?
Opo, pinakuha po nila sa akin po, sa bahay po nila.
Okay. This was not for Waikangsu.
Para po kay Gao tsaka kay Ding po.
There's something that doesn't make sense here. He says it's for Gao, and you said it's
Kasi
for
po si Gao po, ang nagpakilala sa akin kay Ding. So sila po yung dalawang kausap po. Mostly po si Gao ang kausap ko po.
Yeah, but what the committee is trying to find out,
Opo, sir.
Philrem says that it was supposed to be and it was delivered to Wai Kang-su.
Wala po dyan si Wei Kang-su. Hindi ko po pa nakita po yan. Yung last year lang po ko nakita po yun.
Hindi mo kilala si Wai Kang-su?
Once lang po sa amin po, nung May 18, no, 2015 po.
Ang question po, sino po nagbigay ng pangalan na sa Philrem o kay Maia de Guito na ibigay itong 38% of the $80 million to Wai Kang-su?
Kasi po, para yung binigay ho, kaya lumasbas ho yung Wei Kang-su po, di ba? Yung first na delivery na $80 million, saka 20 million pesos, para po kay Wei Kang-su. Yun po ang sinabi ni Gao, inang play niya, ilalagay po doon.
Ha?
Yung first February 5 po, di ba po? Yung 20 million, tsaka yung 80 million po, ang sabi po ni Gao, ilagay nun kay Wei Kang-su. Kasi po si Wei Kang-su, prayer po ni Gao sa Maidas po.
Okay, so ngayon, ang sasabi po ninyo, it was Wai Kang-su that received the first $22 million.
Hindi, sabi po ni Gao, pinasend ni Gao dun sa picture po para tanggapin ng yung 100 million pesos lang po yun. Para siya, yun ang ipa-play lang niya.
Hindi, mas malaki ng 100 million pesos ito eh. Aabot ito ng mga 30 million, almost $31 million.
Kasi po, nilakammali po si Hatolitan. Sinabi niya, Wei Kang-su, first testimony niya, play ang sulayan.
Hindi, alam mo, tinatanong ko lang, who issued the orders? It was Maia who told Philrem, i-deliver mo yan kay Wai Kang-su. Ay, ganun ba, Maia? Miss de Guito?
Sir, I have answered that already. I don't know Wei Kang-su po.
I'm not asking if you know Wai Kang-su. I'm asking, did you give instructions to deliver it to Wai Kang-su?
The instructions given to me were just to transfer funds from the beneficiaries to William Go to Philrem. As to the cash delivery, sir, I have no knowledge. There was an instruction to transfer funds to Bloomberry, Eastern Hawaii, which I relayed to Philrem. But as to cash...
so you never gave instructions to Philrem to deliver to anybody else except Bloomberry?
Yes. Cash deliveries are no instructions, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Bautista, do you still maintain that you receive instructions to give it to Wai Kang-su?
Yes, Your Honor.
From Ms. de Guito?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. de Guito could only have gotten the name of Wai Kang-su from Kim Wong.
I don't know, Your Honor.
All right, we still have a lot of gaps here. Now, we'd like to also find out yung sa Century Text Trading, Mr. William Go. Mr. Go, gano'ng katagal na kayo nagbabank sa RCBC?
Wala akong bangko sa RCBC, Your Honor.
Not a single account?
Yun lang sa Trinoma, bago lang. Sa corporate account sa Trinoma.
How long? When did you open the Trinoma?
The Trinoma account, I think, is 2015.
2015?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Mga May ata.
Wala kayong account sa Jupiter?
Wala po, never naka-account.
Okay. Not dollar, not peso?
Not anything.
Ms. de Guito, earlier, the first hearing you testified that you deposited, you funneled all $81 million to the account of William Go, di ba?
Your Honor, with all due respect, William Go has filed already a lot of cases against me, so I would like to invoke my right against self-incrimination.
You will not incriminate yourself if you're already on record, eh. Di ba?
What is your question? I'm sorry.
My question is, you testified that Mr. William Go already had an existing account in RCBC. Peso account, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. How long had that account been open?
It has been open since 2014.
RCBC Jupiter,
Yes, Your Honor.
2014. Mr. William Go, 2014 pa raw.
Your Honor, sinabi ko na dati pa, wala akong account binabuksan. In fact ho, mayroon dito mga dokumento. Nung binuksan yung account na yun, noong 2014, puro fake ho ang pirma ho. Hindi ako pumirma noon. Wala akong binabuksan.
Meron kang kopya ng
Ito.
fake signature. Okay, would you like to
Yeah, pati ho mga ID, fake ginamit ho. Binuksan nila account na yan.
Alright, so would you like to share that with the committee?
Sure, hindi pa kayo binigyan ng kopya? Kala ko nabigyan. Meron ba?
I must have a copy somewhere. I've already 3 boxes on this.
Meron ba tayong kopya? Yung peso account. Ito, you know, gano'n sa CBC po, ito binigay sa akin.
Okay.
Kaya may kopya po ako. And you can notice, Your Honor, pati ho yung ID ginamit nila.
ID
ginamit nila, gumawa silang fake na ID ko. Ang mukha, hindi ako ito. At pagkatapos, at the same time, yung in-issue na ID, February 5, 2016. Ito sa dollar account naman.
February 5 na?
Oo, in-issue license.
On the very same day
Yes, sir,
that the
Your Honor.
dollars came in?
Yes, sir. Tapos, at the same time po, may nakatatak sa baba. Original scene, nakapirma ko, si Angela Torres, February 1, verify itong account. February 1, 2016, verify na account. Samantalang February 1, verify, February 5 po in-issue ID na peke. Paano nangyari yun? Your Honor.
Magic. Maraming magician dito eh.
Yun nga, kaya, sa akin lang, ang dapat talaga sila magpaliwanag. Hindi ako nagpapaliwanag dito eh. Sila mga magpaliwanag, managot dito sa ginawa sa akin.
Pagkatapos, may nagbukas ng dollar account, linked to the peso account, di ba?
Yun ang hindi ko alam kung paano ginawa nila, Your Honor.
Amazing, yeah. Alam mo, Mr. Go, hindi klaro dito yung yung signature card. Could we have a new copy? Hindi, paggawa mo na sa opisina mo, tinan mo, wala, anong mababasa?
Hindi, pege ho yan yata eh. Ito yung meron dito na galing sa RCBC na original na signature card. Ang RCBC pwede magbigay, meron silang kopya ng original na signature card ko po.
May we have the signature
Yes, Your
card,
Honor.
please, of,
Meron rin po yung report nila na na simulated forgery lahat to.
Okay. Now, Philrem, you submitted 5 transaction tickets using BDO, Banco de Oro. I can't read the date would be February 10, 200 million, February 10, 190 million, February 10, 100 million, February 10, another 100 million, and February 10 again, 210 million. This total 740 million. Were you the ones that submitted this? These are known as transaction tickets.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, where does this... My gosh. Where does this fit in with the...
I think mas makapal ho, mas complete yung documents. The one you showed kanina.
Oo nga, kasi yung total
Ito.
amount
This one, Your Honor.
transmitted to Bloomberry was 1.37 billion. Okay. Ito. We just received this, so we'll have to absorb this. Casinos will be able to exchange cash for dollar-denominated chips. But the other casinos, not owned by PAGCOR or operated by PAGCOR, can only use pesos and Hong Kong dollars.
It depends on the requester. Like, for example, Soler.
No, I have a very
they have
specific
dollar
question.
chips.
So Soler has dollar chips.
Alam ko, wala po. US dollars? No.
Is there,
Your Honor,
where is
in-
Soler represent? Yes.
Your Honor, in Soler, we only have Hong Kong dollar tables and peso tables, so no US dollars,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
Would you like to explain why?
That's the preference of the players, Your Honor.
The preference of the players is to gamble in Hong Kong dollars rather than in US dollars.
That's
and you
correct,
don't
Your
know
Honor.
why.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr.
Hindi
Kim?
po, sir. Yun po yung request po mga junket po. Like, meron ko kami junket rooms, we request na gusto namin po peso tsaka Hong Kong dollar lang po.
Okay.
Kunyari, let's say 10 tables po.
Bakit kaya ganon?
Kasi pala wala na akong palitan.
Ayun na nga may cost ang palitan, di ba? So, ba't hindi kayo pumasok ito dito, US dollars, di ba? 81.
Eastern Hawaii Leisure, and then also the account of Mr. Kim Wong.
Where is the account of Mr. Kim Wong? Akala ko yung account niya, Eastern Hawaii.
No, Mr. Kim Wong has separate accounts in his name, Your Honor.
At pina-freeze mo lahat yun?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. These are
Magkano
also.
naiwan doon sa mga accounts na
May 5 million. Ang finish siya po sa akin, marami account eh. Even my not connected eh. I think, one company, 8 to 10?
Okay.
Hindi naman ako makapag-negosyo nga eh.
That's not my question.
Opo, opo.
What were the total amounts in those
Lahat po, 138 million.
138
Million
million?
pesos po.
All right. What else were frozen? Miss Abad?
And then on March, the second freeze order, Your Honor, covers the account of Bloomberry, Your Honor.
So you never froze any Philrem account? Bakit nag-complain si Mrs. Bautista na close ninyo yung account?
The accounts-
It was RCBC that voluntarily closed their account.
The accounts of Philrem were frozen as related accounts, Your
$1
Honor.
million US dollars was what was remitted through RCBC and Philrem, di ba?
Pero ito kasi po, yung, kung ano yung gusto lang po eh, parang two choice po. One is Hong Kong, one is peso po.
Ba't magugustuhan ng player ang pesos kung taga-China sila?
Hindi ko po alam yun po. Palagi po.
So walang choice ang customer. Pag pumasok, pumasok o dumating sa Soler at he wants to gamble in dollars, he's not allowed to do so.
Opo, wala po US dollars. So, Hong Kong dollars meron po.
All right. Miss Abad, the freeze order that was obtained by the Anti-Money Laundering Council from the Court of Appeals, ano hong accounts ang kinover niyan? Which accounts of Philrem lang?
You know, we have two freeze orders obtained from the Court of Appeals. First was obtained on March 1, and this covers the accounts of the four account holders, and then the account of.
Thank you, Senator Bam, and I laud your zeal in pursuing and returning, making sure that all the money involved is returned to the government of Bangladesh. Senator Osmeña?
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman. PAGCOR, who will speak for PAGCOR? Mr. Manalastas. Mr. Manalastas, does PAGCOR only accept pesos for conversion into chips, or do you also accept other denominations?
Our casinos, PAGCO-operated casinos, deal with both peso and dollar.
So you have dollar chips.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
Your Honor.
therefore, what would be the reason why so much of this was exchanged into pesos? Eh kung kaya naman ng dollars, eh di wala ka nang gulugi sa transaction cost ng foreign exchange, di ba?
I can only provide a guess as to why the junket operators would convert it. I would assume that it has something to do with the exchange rate. Your
No,
Honor.
that's not an answer. What are you talking about?
No, I mean, as far as the casino which we operate, we accept both dollar and peso.
Okay, I'll ask this question of Mr. Kim Wong. Mr. Kim Wong,
Yes, sir.
bakit pa kailangan i-exchange ang dollars for pesos?
Kasi po, operation po lang PAGCOR, yung sarili po nila, meron po sila peso tsaka US dollars.
Oh.
Sa amin po, casino, sa Suler, sa lahat ng casino, wala po US dollars po.
Walang US dollars?
Wala po, wala po. Sila lang po meron owned by, run by PAGCOR. Sila lang po may peso tsaka US dollars po.
So,
Opo.
lahat ito mga privately owned casinos or casinos not operated by PAGCOR are required to only use pesos as the...
Hindi, pesos and Hong Kong dollars.
Hong Kong dollars.
Opo, we have two kind of chips. One is peso, one is Hong Kong.
Bakit walang US dollars?
Sila lang po mayroong US eh. Tanong nyo po sa kanila po.
Would you like to explain that, Mr. Manalastas?
Can you repeat the question, Your Honor?
The question is, why does PAGCOR have two rules and a sub-rule? Why only PAGCOR